Hey guys, welcome to the channel. Today we're going to see the difference between the cameras in the iPhone 12, the iPhone 13. Basically, this is the biggest difference, right? Obviously, there is the processor and there are some additions in the iPhone 13 series, but the cameras are the main thing. And the iPhone 12 screen looks really dull compared to the iPhone 13 in broad daylight. So that's another thing which you should see. I have done an entire review. I'll link it down below. And before we get into the actual camera comparison, do click the red subscribe button down below. Hit the bell icon, click on all notifications. Do like the video and comment below because I respond to all your queries. First things first, let's see which phone launches the cameras first. So I've cleared all the background and let's hit the cameras together. So both are the same. If there is a fast shot which you need to take, both the phones will launch the cameras together. So that's a good thing there. Now let's see what are the modes which are available between both these cameras, and then we move on to the actual shots. Before we do that, let's look at the specifications. So the iPhone 13 has got a 12 megapixel wide, a 12 megapixel ultra wide. The iPhone 12 on the other hand also has a 12 megapixel wide and a 12 megapixel ultra wide. So the only change which we see here is the sensor shift stabilization, which is available on the iPhone 13, introduced with the iPhone 12 Pro series. That's the main change between both the cameras. Otherwise, the focal length, the field of view with respect to the ultra wide, everything just stays the same. And yes, it's a diagonally placed camera setup for the iPhone 13. Next, the front camera is practically the same with respect to both these phones. So you have a 12 megapixel wide on the iPhone 13 and a 12 megapixel wide on the iPhone 12 as well, with the same focal length and same field of view. Not much difference there. The only difference which we might see would be with respect to the processing. Now let's focus on the modes, and both the phones zoom to a 5x, so no difference there. But there are some changes with respect to the UI. You do see a 1x button and a 0.5x button on the photos part, so that is different. On the iPhone 12 you just see a 1x. You do have the same modes, video, photo, panoramic. The video zooms to a maximum of 3x, so that's also the same between both the phones. You do have a 4K 60 video on both these, that's the maximum you can do. You have slow motion and you have time lapse. The new thing is the cinematic mode. Now the cinematic mode is something which is very interesting. So you can actually do a proper video where you can choose your subject, what to blur and what not to blur. The next addition to the iPhone 13 series are the photographic styles. So standard is something which you already have on the iPhone 12 and the other iPhones. Rich contrast has been introduced now, along with vibrant, warm, cool, and yeah, that's more of it. They are basically engineered at the sensor level and not a filter, which is something which interests me. And at the end of the video we will see the differences between all of these photographic styles, so that's going to be interesting. Stay tuned. Finally, it's time to compare the photos. So this is a wide shot. I prefer the iPhone 13 because of the contrasty image which it has given, and the shadows also look really good. Nothing looks blown out. This I prefer the iPhone 13 again here because again, if you look at the tree bark, the shadows are really good. So what do you think? Let me know down in the comment section. Now this one, I prefer the iPhone 12. The sky on the iPhone 13 looks a little blown out, but it has kept really good details with respect to the edges. So that's something to note. The iPhone 13 has maintained the brightness of the sun really well, but the shadow details look better with respect to the iPhone 12. So that's surprising. Now this is a portrait shot, and there's only one portrait setting which is available with both these cameras. The edge detection is the same with respect to both, so full marks to both of these cameras. This is an ultra wide shot and I'm going to zoom in. So I think both of them look pretty similar to each other. The wide, I think I prefer the iPhone 12, because if you look at the left side of the photograph, the iPhone 13 is a little darker. The iPhone 12 has got better shadows. Now this is 5x zoom and that's the maximum both these phones can do. I think the iPhones, both of them have done really well, but my suggestion would be not to use the telephoto, just click a normal photo and crop in. Now here I prefer the iPhone 13. The clarity is amazing with respect to the camera, so it's something to do with the processing. Really good. Now it's time for the cinematic mode on the iPhone 13, but first we'll see the iPhone 12 4K at 60 and then a cinematic mode 4K 60 on the iPhone 13. So I did try to focus wherever I wanted to on the iPhone 12, but what it did was only blow out the top half of the video, which is not something which we want from the video, right? Now let's look at the iPhone 13 in cinematic mode 4K 60. So the iPhone 13 looks really good in the cinematic mode. Whatever subject you click on automatically comes in focus, and this is irrespective of whether you take it with people inside it. So it's really good. Now let's look at a comparison between 4K 60 and 4K 60 on both the phones, and I'll keep quiet again for you to hear the microphones. So these were the 4K 60 videos from both the phones, and you heard their microphones. Not much differences there. The iPhone 13 looks a little washed out, but I think it's trying to capture all the shadow details. But yes, the iPhone 12's video looks more contrasting. Now this is another wide. I think both did really well. I can't see a difference between both of them. In this wide, I prefer the iPhone 12 because of the shadow details in the top part of the photo. So yeah. Now iPhone 13 here, hands down, because of the clarity, the bokeh which it has given. It's obviously a natural bokeh because it's a wide photograph. Now here the iPhone 12 is completely blown out. The iPhone 13 has shot on point. So for me, the iPhone 13 here. Here both of them look exactly the same, so I'm going to give full marks to both of these. You let me know down in the comment section if you think one is better than the other. Now here the iPhone 12 and iPhone 13, it's not that the ultra wides are different, it's just maybe I've shot the iPhone 12 from slightly closer to the subject. Now the next part which we are looking at are the photographic styles. So you can see the differences between standard, rich contrast and vibrant, and now warm and cool. I prefer the rich contrast and the standard, but that's most of it. Do let me know down in the comment section which phone do you go with. There is a significant price difference between both of these phones, and with respect to the iPhone 12, it is at heavy discounts right now. Looking at this, you can actually go for the iPhone 12 if you do not require cinematic mode or photographic styles. But do let me know, and as usual, thanks for watching.